Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, working on the free T again. So as I mentioned in some other videos, I've been kind of buttoning up things that are like partially done, tack welded in place, stitch welded, and fully welding them. There's areas where we're smoothing some stuff out. You saw in another video where Andrew helped me do where the sheet metal for the cowl wraps around the box tubing in the A-pillar. We welded that all up, blended it in nice and smooth, so it kind of looks like one piece. Looks a little more finished because I did kind of switch gears on this car about halfway through and decide that we're going to make it a little nicer than just like a beater dirt track car. So we are now kind of circling back and doing some stuff to finish it up and make things look a little more finished. One of those things that I've been meaning to do is right here in the A-pillar to dash area. I welded the dash to the cowl top and sides, and we have the sheet metal comes up, the door comes up, and there's kind of a empty area right in here that we need to box in or finish out. So it looks fine from the outside. I'll grab a shot that you can see on the inside. What we have is you can see kind of the innards of everything we've done. So you can see the box tubing, you can see this outer sheet metal, you can see where the dash kind of comes all in, and the stuff doesn't blend together. So what I'm going to do today is work on making a little patch panel or blend panel that's going to go in and blend this all together. This side also has some area where there's an original hole for the windshield stanchion, and it is pretty thin around here. When we were welding in this little patch here, I started noticing that the metal was really thin. So I'm going to kind of cut this area out as well on this side. The other side I already replaced it, and we're going to blend this all in on both sides, and then also I'll replace this little area here. So I've already started making a patch. So this is the process I have where I will just take some chipboard and I will cut it to size and keep trimming it and get it to fit. A lot easier than doing it with sheet metal. Then I can lay this flat on the sheet metal, trim it all out, and we know that it's going to be really close right from the get-go. So I already have this piece that kind of sits in around our plate on the inside and the box tubing. We have a little magnets that sticks in. And what I'm going to try and do is keep the shape of the top of the door. I'm going to try and continue it into this piece and then blend it into the dash, and that way it'll kind of just disappear into everything with a little bit of filing and sanding. I should be able to get it to kind of flow in, and it'll look pretty nice and finished, especially for what we started with. This is going to look way better. So I'm going to get this trimmed a little bit better and make a patch, start welding in. We'll show you guys the process of another step in smoothing out the free T. All right, guys, so in the last couple shots, you saw me getting this other side welded in. Went a little bit quicker than the first side. What I did was I made sure that my bend lines where the door matches up with this front piece here was a little more precise. On the other side, I was more worried about the gaps around the dash being really, really tight, and I wasn't as worried about where this lined up with the door, and it actually caused me a little more work where I had to work the bend line area to get it to match the door, and it took probably a couple hours of extra work, just tedious little welds and hammer and dolly to get it to match a little bit better. This side I did the opposite. I was okay with a little bit bigger of a gap back here to make sure that I got the bend lines right. This is real life stuff. I don't get it perfect every time. Some of the higher end guys out there are really good at it, but us mortals, you may have to fill a little gap sometimes. That's okay. I was definitely okay with it because I'm already trying to blend this filler patch right into the dash. So I knew I was gonna have to add some additional filler rod into that seam anyways. So all I did was just worked it a little more. So I started out by tigging around the outside. I added a little more filler rod to this corner here where I was welding so that I can actually sand that back and round it how I want and get the door gap pretty close without having to go back too many times and add weld. So now what I did at the end then is I went and filled some of the larger gaps with the MIG, and I went back over the seam and added another quick zap with the MIG. And all it does is it's a little bit quicker so that I can add some filler material into the seam here, and I can get a nice blend when I'm doing that. So what I'm going to be using to do the blend is I use these little carbide burrs that Eastwood sells. You can put them in any die grinder. They come in a kit with a bunch of different sizes, or you can buy them individually. This one I'm using here to get in and rough this out is it's squared off at the end, but it's a larger diameter carbide burr. And what I can do is I can get in like this and just work and just rough in that MIG weld. Especially when you're working on MIG welds, these are really good when you're trying to blend, because MIG welds are so hard that they end up eating up the abrasive disc if you're trying to use just sandpaper or like one of these surface conditioning pads. But if you use one of these first, you can kind of rough it in, get the general shape that you want by kind of carving it in here, and then you can come back with a die grinder with like Rolock sandpaper or these abrasive pads and just blend it all in and make it look really nice, and it'll all flow together. So I'm going to do that process, and hopefully I should have this side blended in pretty quickly, and we'll have both of these A-pillars capped, blended into the dash, and that's a nice little tedious project done. All right, so that was another one of those projects that I planned to be really quick and simple, and it sort of spiraled out of control a lot like this car has done as of late. So I just wanted to basically cap the A-pillar areas and make the dash / A-pillar area kind of capped and look a little more finished. And along the way I decided, well, since I was capping it, maybe I might as well blend and fill the seam where the dash met the A-pillar and make it all kind of flow together. That created a lot more work, especially on the first one where I was kind of figuring it out on the fly. It created a little bit more work because I was more focused on how that piece fit against the dash rather than how it fit next to the door, and I had to do some additional work to the piece to get it to match the shape of the door. The second side, on the passenger side, went a little bit quicker because I was more focused on how it fit the shape of the door rather than how it fit against the dash. Required a little bit extra filling, but that wasn't a big deal because we just needed to fill it and then grind and smooth everything out to blend it all together. So hopefully you guys like these technical videos. I know I used to only do the technical videos like this that were real like hardcore focused on the builds. We've now kind of, since we're doing like 3 videos a week, we've kind of tried to mix in some of the more like lifestyle or kind of overviews of what kind of stuff we have going on around the shop. But I am definitely trying to keep these more like hardcore technical videos going on the channel. They require a lot more work on my part, but it seems like you guys like them. I get a lot of satisfaction out of sharing some of the hard work that goes into these cars. You know, if you have a preference for the type of videos that you guys like to see, definitely drop me a comment and let me know so that I know I'm on the right track with sharing the work I do. As I've mentioned in a lot of other videos, I do so much in a week, and I'm not trying to brag. I do so much in a week between picking for parts and running around and different stuff I do and trying to keep all these projects afloat in my normal day-to-day life that there's a lot that I don't film that could be pretty cool if I did have the time. If this was a full-time thing, I probably would do that, but for now I'm trying to keep the stuff that I think you guys want to see, so I'd love to hear it in the comments what you guys like, whether it's the hardcore technical projects, videos, or if it's some of the picking or whatever else. You know, definitely let me know. I appreciate it. So, as always, we do videos on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a comment down below. I really do appreciate all the feedback that we do get. I try and answer every single comment myself, or Mike also jumps in and answers comments as well. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Catch you later.